I'm Katie Wells, host of the Maximized Minimalist podcast. I escaped the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood, overwhelmed by clutter and buried under the mental load. Now I live in a home that feels calm, manageable, and made for real life. I have margin in my days, energy for who matters most, and time for slow mornings and silly dance parties in the kitchen with my family. With over 5 million listens, the show has helped women around the world turn their homes into their happy place. Around here, we simplify for more peace, more presence, and more joy. We choose grace over guilt and progress over perfection. And we believe your home should give back more than it takes. I'm here to help you do the same. Come along with me and my guests as we share the real stories, habits, and strategies that help you lighten the load from the inside out. Pull up a seat, friend, and let's do this together. Ready, set, simplify. I want to share 2 different things that really changed my personal trajectory when it came to decluttering, in the sense that it really got me the progress I deserved and I craved. I was really tired, maybe like some of you listening, of feeling like it was 1 step forward, 18 steps back constantly. I felt like something was wrong with me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What system do I need? Whatever checklist do I need? I was so desperate. But here's the reality. Number 1 is this. Most of us, when we declutter, we only scratch the surface, meaning we tackle the easy, low-hanging fruit, and then that's it. So there are 4 types of clutter, right? And you're probably only tackling, like most people, superficial clutter. This is the easy, obvious, unneeded, excess, unwanted. Like when you see that thing on your countertop and you're like, oh, donation bin, that's superficial clutter. Your brain doesn't throw any type of objection up, any type of red flag up, any type of but what if, right? Those are deeper layers. We'll talk about those. And when you only tackle the superficial clutter, it's going to feel like a constant yo-yo of forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And then number 2, we're going to talk about this, is decluttering is truly, you're building a life skill. And I want to share this analogy because I feel like it always really helps. I love to lift weights. And one thing I just love squatting. I feel like I love making my legs stronger and my back stronger. So if I go in my basement and squat, and every time I do squats and I squat just the bar, which is roughly 40 pounds, my body will not transform if I never add weight to the bar, right? If I only ever squat 40 pounds for the rest of the year, it's still good for me. Don't get me wrong. It'll help me maintain, but it's not going to transform. And the same thing happens with decluttering. If you only ever tackle the surface level stuff, it's 1 step forward, multiple steps back. Like, girl, we're lucky if we can even maintain, right? And through my own journey years ago, I was like, dang, all clutter is not equal. And I'm identifying. So through that, 4 main types of clutter. There's always kind of little subsets we talk about here on the show, but most people only ever tackle 1. By the way, if what I talk about too resonates, if you want to learn more about these 4 types of clutter beyond the conversation today, go get my book, Making Home Your Happy Place, a real life guide to decluttering without the overwhelm. Comes out February 17th. If you order before February 17th, I got a few days left here, then you get 4 incredible bonuses. Go check out the link in the show notes and let's talk about the 4 clutter types. Okay. As you listen to me talk about these 4 clutter types too, notice which ones are like making you feel a little antsy, or ones that you've been avoiding. Not because one is like your type per se, but because all 4 clutter types really exist in every home. And what makes this even more nuanced and layered is you can look at a piece of clutter. You can look at you and your partner, or you and your child can look at the same item, and it's one clutter type to you and it's another clutter type to someone else. It's because of the meaning we're assigning this stuff. So anyway, let's dive in. Again, just to recap, first type is superficial clutter. Easy stuff, low-hanging fruit. Anything that's obviously ready to go. Trash, expired food in the pantry, broken items you never going to fix, things you don't use, need, and honestly, you forgot you even had. And this is where most people start and stop. Here's what we need to do. We need to start there because easy wins are important. It builds momentum and it helps you start to trust yourself. It helps you build the muscle. This is your bar. This is your squat bar. This is your 40 pounds. Okay. And if you've been here for a while, you've probably heard me talk about 25 to Thrive or clutter audits, those little micro declutter sessions you weave into your everyday life. This is often superficial clutter you're tackling in those moments. And it works. And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, go back and check them out after this one. They came out earlier this month in January. But here's the thing. If you stop here, you never get to the stuff that's weighing you down, the 80-90% left of clutter, like we talked about. It's just the surface. Okay. Second type is scarcity clutter. And this one for most of us is really, really sneaky. By the way, if you took my decluttering style quiz and you got, right, momentum seeker directly ties into scarcity clutter, right? Tell me if this sounds familiar. You tend to hold on to the just in case stuff, the backups, the extras, the things you're afraid because you might need them someday. Again, this doesn't mean something's wrong with you. This is how we are all naturally wired. It's the 47 plastic bags stuffed under the sink, the spare cables in a drawer, even though you're not sure where they go, the clothes that don't fit, but might fit again one day. You get the idea. The just in case, I'll keep this just in case this thing breaks, and then I'll have this, and then it becomes useful. Scarcity clutter tends to come from, number one, how we're wired. Okay. I never ever want to bypass that because you're not wrong. You're not the only one that struggles with this. I really struggled with scarcity clutter. Okay. So just hear me. If I can do it, you can do it too. But it's rooted in a place of fear that you won't have enough, fear that you'll need something and it won't be there. And so you hold on just to be safe. The problem is all that just in case stuff. I mean, think about the space it's taking up, physical and mental. And the reality is the safety, it kind of promises us, it's like it's really an illusion of safety we gain from clinging to scarcity clutter. Most of us have way more than we actually need, but scarcity clutter keeps whispering, it's not enough, right? One of my listeners, Ella, wrote to me recently and said that once she got more confident tackling her scarcity clutter, it took her progress to a whole new level. Y'all know I'm a 90s kid and I love Mario Kart. I can do Switch, I guess, but Nintendo 64. Do you remember like getting the star and like you get that weapon, you start your star and then like whoever your character is, they just fly forward? This is what we're talking about here, truly. She's like, I feel 10 times better in my home. That's the power of going deeper than the surface. Like think of tackling these other layers as now you're adding 5 pounds to each side of that bar. Now you're at 50 pounds, girl. And when you're at 50 pounds, is your body like, oh, this is easy. Oh, this is like so easy. No, your body's like, oh, this feels a little different than what I'm used to. This feels a little uncomfortable. I don't know. Can we do this? And the more you get comfortable letting go of some of that scarcity clutter, little by little, the more your brain and your body truly are like, okay, we got this, girl. We can go deeper. Okay. The third type is sentimental. This one's a doozy, but I don't think for a lot of us, it's necessarily the hardest to face. Depends, right? So sentimental clutter is, again, anything tied to memories, relationships, or emotions. A lot of us can self-identify, or we are thinking of a person in our life where we're like, oh, they are super sentimental. And I just want to say, like, if you identify as that, so many people come, like, when they tell me these things, like, I'm really sentimental, like they come to it with like a guilt or like shame-based perspective. Like it's ruining my results, or I just wish I weren't naturally sentimental. And it can impact your declutter journey, don't get me wrong, but I still know confidently in my body that there are ways to honor your sentimentality and not have to change your heart and who you are and still make progress in the sentimental clutter department. These are maybe boxes of photos you've got under your bed or in your closet, the gifts you feel guilty getting rid of, even though you don't love them, your kids' artwork, your grandma's dishes, maybe stuff from a season that's over, but still feels meaningful. Here's what I want you to know about this. Sentimental clutter isn't bad, and you are not broken for struggling with it. Here's what I believe. Memories matter. Connection matters. Really, that word connection is what I come to. It just makes me tear up. Like, this is what it's about. Like, if you just keep going through the layers of clutter, right? And you're going through and you're making progress. It's like, what are we gaining through this process? Happiness, joy, less stress, less anxiety, like more ease, more calm, but it's like more connection with our hearts, more connection with who we are authentically are, more connection with our inner child, more connection with our children, more connection with our partners. It is like such a beautiful thing. You don't have to declutter all your sentimental stuff just because like some declutter expert told you to. Like, I would never tell you to let go of some of your most sentimental items. I think the challenge is just learning to honor what something meant without feeling like you have to keep it forever. Because the truth is, the memory doesn't live in the object. It lives in you. I know it sounds cheesy. And I also know keeping something out of guilt or obligation isn't the same thing as treasuring it. And I also know if everything is special, then nothing truly is. Sentimental clutter takes a different approach than scarcity clutter. Goodness. I mean, just describing those two, it's like two different parts of the spectrum here. More time, more grace, but it's also where a lot of powerful breakthroughs happen, right? So just like scarcity clutter. And then at the core, and this I think was the most profound of me to identify, have awareness around, identify both in my personal journey and also like create unique strategies to tackle, is identity clutter. This one surprises a lot of people because they're like, wow, I never thought about it that way. Identity clutter is stuff tied to who you used to be, a previous season of life, or who you thought you'd become. And maybe as I'm even talking about some of these 4 clutter types, you're like, well, like I have boxes of trophy from high school. Like I ran track and like stuff like that. Is it sentimental or identity? Like the point isn't to like make it so granular and like hype it, like, well, which one is it? Which one is it? It can be both. The point is just to help bring that intention to it, even if it is multiple types of clutter in one, which is nuanced, I know. And then what's the next right step, right? This identity clutter, it's like the professional wardrobe from a career you left years ago. It's the hobby supplies for the hobby you swore you'd pick back up but never did, right? This stuff is so loaded. It's even hard for me to say some of this stuff. I'm like, man, I remember the mental load, the sadness and frustration I felt when I came across identity clutter. That is until I was able to move forward with it. This is like, I'll just name it for me. I called it like my skinny jeans from before I had kids. I was like, I saw those in my closet. I was like, those are my skinny jeans. Like those were, oh, and now I feel depressed. Like every day I walked in my closet, I'm like, can't fit in those yet. Maybe never again. It's the books you keep because you feel like you should have read them by now, right? A big one for me, I'll share this too, art supplies. I bought, when my kids were itty bitty, 1-2 years old, I bought all the stuff because I wanted to be like the mom that crafted. I wanted to be that mom. I was like, yes, I aspire to be a crafting mom who smiles and enjoys making messes and enjoys like pipe cleaners and enjoys finger painting. Like I kind of pictured like my kindergarten teacher. I was like, all of a sudden, I just wanted to be that mom because I thought that was who I was supposed to be in order to be a good mom, right? I didn't read this on page 25 of the Good Parenting, Good Mom Handbook. I absorbed it through culture. And I held on to those art supplies for years. I knew on paper, that's clutter, right? Think of the classic decluttering advice. If you haven't used it in 6 months, it's clutter. Let it go. And I'm like, well, but what if I become that mom? What if I want to become that mom? And does letting go of this mean I'll never be that mom? Right? Ooh, heavy. Identity clutter is tricky because just like the other types, it's not about the stuff. It's about the story you're telling yourself. Letting it go can feel like letting go of a version of you, whether that's who you were or even who you hope to become. Aspirational clutter, right? A little subset of identity. Here's what I've learned. Holding on to this clutter type keeps you either stuck in the past or kind of stuck waiting for a future you might know deep in your belly might not ever come. And releasing it when it is truly clutter creates space for who you actually are right now. You find a deep connection with yourself the more you work through this identity clutter in your home. And I'm telling you what, this is the most emotionally liberating clutter to let go of, because every time you are able to release it in a way that honors, again, who you were, who you wanted to be, your best intentions with buying that yoga mat that now just sits there and you're like, dang it, do I let it go? Right? Maybe when I release this type of clutter, the art supplies, yes, I gained back a bin in my garage. I gained back that physical space, but the mental load and this belief that I was able to bring from subconscious, unconscious to conscious. Why was I clinging to this art supplies? It was because I thought a good mom did that with her kids. And I go, well, that's not true. This is where we challenge those belief systems, right? Challenge those stories. Well, that's not true. I know plenty of great moms who don't do arts and crafts with their kids. And connection, that connection piece we talked about earlier, connecting to my authentic self was, and it looked like, I don't want to be that mom. And that's okay. I'm good enough as I am right now. And boy, the peace that literally washed over me in that moment, I made that decision, which, by the way, once I was able to go through, understand what it was, apply the strategies, took like less than 2 minutes. Whereas had I not gone through that I'm telling you that art supplies would still be sitting in my garage. And big deal, it was one bin, not a ton of space. It's the mental clutter it carries with it. That is what felt so liberating and brought me more connection to who I am and being happy in my own skin. I don't know. I think that's a super cool aspect of holistic decluttering personally. So why does this matter? Why does it matter that there are 4 clutter types? Because the strategy that helps you clear out superficial clutter isn't probably the strategy you need for your grandmother's jewelry. How to identify, what do I keep? What are the stories? What do I want to do with this stuff? The mindset that works for scarcity clutter might not help you move the needle with identity clutter. And when you understand, again, that there are 4 types, you stop wondering why decluttering feels so hard sometimes. You stop wondering, oh, why did I declutter 2 days ago? My home felt better and now it feels bad again. You're not bad at this. It's just you've probably been using one tool or focusing on one clutter type when there are multiple. Superficial clutter needs one thing, action. It needs the spark. You have to create that action. Literally 10 minutes, clutter audit, 25 to thrive. There are many ways to do it. Quick decisions. Scarcity clutter needs to address the fear underneath. Sentimental clutter needs time and a gentler approach. And identity clutter needs you to reconnect with who you are. This is like squatting 100 pounds, girl. Maybe not 100. Once you see clutter through this lens, I think it does a couple things for us. It makes us realize we're not alone. It reduces the shame. When we are stuck in shame, hope feels impossible. We think, what's the point? I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. I'll never have the time. I'll never have the bandwidth. Trust me, I thought all these things too. I really did. I was like, I will just resign myself to having a miserably cluttered, stressful home until the kids are 18 and move out. And then when I retire, I'll have all this time and then I'll do it. No, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. And you don't have to beat yourself up for getting stuck. Like, no, that's not what we do here. You start meeting each type of clutter with the right approach. And I'm telling you, I mean, no matter who your character is on Mario Kart, I was Yoshi, I was Toad, I was Princess Peach. I loved them all. Okay. You are adding that star, star after star after star, and you are skyrocketing through the race, which means you get to your easy to manage home, less stressful home, simplified home. Even just saying it, like I feel so good just saying that word. Like I feel peace wash over me. You get to that so much more faster. Like you're adding rocket fuel to your journey. And before you know it, girl, you're going to be squatting 45 pounds, 50 pounds, tackling these other clutter types. This framework, by the way, is at the heart of everything I teach. And like I said, my book goes way deeper on all 4 clutter types. And so go grab it. Go grab it. The link's in the show notes. It comes out soon, February 17th, all the things. We'll leave it at that. Friend, I'll see you next week. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you for doing this work. I know this stuff isn't always easy to look at, easy to identify, easy to address. There's days where you're just like, I'm tired. I don't want to declutter. I don't want to do this anymore. But just remember what you fall back on, right? The fundamentals, the clutter audits, the resets. And, like I talk about in my inner circle group, it's like, what's your one thing? What's your one thing for the day that, as James Clear says, casts a vote for who you are, who you want to be. And you're doing it. You're doing really incredible work. And I can't think of any other thing in my life other than maybe exercise and eating that has given me such a massive return on investment of my time and energy spent doing it. For every one thing you let go of from your home, for every 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, you are gaining time, energy, attention, peace, happiness, connection back. And that's going to continue to accumulate over time. And so this is a really cool thing. And I just want to remind you of that because, girl, don't I know some days doesn't always feel that way. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see you next week. I have some really exciting stories to share with you. 3 different testimonials that literally are going to just ignite so much fire and motivation and give you more star power in Mario Kart. And I can't wait to see you then. Ready, set, simplify. Bye.